So I want to get right into it. Why do I think that social media is absolutely deteriorating my generation? Well, I want to start off with, I think, one of the most obvious things. That's the superficiality of social media, the absolute selfish, self-grandizing, maybe that's not a word, self-praising type of behavior that is now being promoted on social media. You know, I post this when I'm posting my selfie here. This isn't so people will see me and be like, "Wow, that's a guy. That's a guy. Wow." No, that's not what I'm doing here. I am sharing my opinion with maybe a few people in the entire world, and maybe one person might be mildly entertained, and not just entertained, but maybe they'll think. It's just what I'm doing here. But for social media is something where you update people daily on how you look, and you give them a picture of yourself. Listen. This is me right here. I have black bags underneath my eyes. My shave does not look great. Hair smells bad. It's just who I am. And I'm not saying that that's always who I am. Sometimes I'm better kempt, sometimes I'm not so kempt. But you kind of get like you get a pattern. Versus social media is you're perfect looking every day. And especially for women, I think it's so detrimental for women. Men, it's maybe different in some ways, but with women, they're given this picture of someone like Kylie Jenner, who's photoshopped to the moon and back, and she's not only photoshopped, but the lighting is perfect. A lot of pictures she won't let the paparazzi take of her. Makeup is always looking absolutely amazing. Hair has always got to look perfect. And she's paying people who charge millions of dollars, over their careers to fix hair and to do makeup. These are the best of the best doing makeup and hair for this lady. And then girls will look at that, and girls will look at Kylie Jenner's social media, and they'll be like, "Wow, okay, that's not who I look like." And that's one aspect of it, the beauty aspect. But there's also the aspect of, I think, guys and women, is the attention aspect. I have to say that I've fallen into this trap of wanting attention. Wanting to generate some, it's entertaining. To talk to people. And so maybe you do a story on Snapchat or Instagram, which, by the way, I have neither personally. I have a business account for Instagram. Refuse to go to Snapchat. I think Snapchat, if you have Snapchat, you probably should delete it. That's just my opinion, okay? But yeah, okay, just I think that personally, it's not good for people's esteem levels, just because there's unrealistic expectations, and we all know this. Okay, I'm not going to go too far into this, but sorry, I kind of forgot my train of thought there. There's a couple bullet points in my head, so I'll just go to the next one. The next one is promiscuity, hugely promoted nowadays in our culture. You cannot debate me on this. You can't. I'm sorry. You can't debate me on this. Culture through social media has completely idolized the naked woman, even the naked man in some aspects. But everything now. Girls in high school, girls in college will wear horribly revealing clothing. And I know this has always been popular, but it's just at the level it is now, it is more rampant than it's ever been. It has to be. I mean, I don't think there ever has been a time where girls, and not just these big cities, and not just, the certain type of girl, but many girls, many different types of women will post pictures of themselves in thongs, okay? I'm sorry. Maybe I'm being graphic here, but it's the reality of things, okay? We have to face reality. That's happening now. I can't imagine my great-grandma doing anything like that. I would be disgusted. I would be horrified. But nowadays, it's totally accepted, totally and completely accepted, and it's encouraged. And you know what they say? Listen to this words that they say. Oh, she's just being free. I saw one post that said, oh, a naked woman's body can represent purity and modesty and dignity. You are on crack if you're saying that, man. Okay, listen. In between a man and a woman, if they're married, that nudity between them, totally fine. And I wouldn't say it's dignified. Not dignified. I don't think there's, well, I don't know. Modesty, I don't know. You're immodest, you're not wearing your clothing. I don't know. That might be more semantics. But what I'm saying is that now it's totally encouraged, If you're a young girl, go out there, shake your butt on TikTok, shake your butt on Instagram. If you're a guy, that's cool for you to promote that. It's cool for you to encourage that, And then, guys have a totally different aspect of this culture, simps, or they're just, they're trying to get more of those photos. They're asking for those type of photos. It's just bad on both sides. And this is just rampant, I've seen it firsthand in my own, in my own city. Girls when I was in high school would wear inappropriate clothing, post it online, for likes, probably for some excitement. What they're doing is wrong, though. That what they are showing is intended for only their husband, who they have bonded themselves with. But I don't expect the culture to go with that. The culture is clearly going a different route than what the Christian view is. But that's another reason that I think social media has been very detrimental. And then there's all the other pornographic sites. Of course, that's been here for a long time. But I'm just talking specifically about social media. It's bad. It's bad right there. It's YouTube, Instagram, Snapchat, Facebook, if you want to go back that far. So those are two of the biggest problems. But I think another problem is that through this, and especially with celebrities, especially with people that have status, I'm talking about the blue checkmark people, they can be, and they are very frequently, if you noticed, most celebrities from Hollywood, from these different particular places, they support a vision. They support a particular stance in every situation. COVID, oh, well, we support vaccinations. Obama versus Trump, or not Obama versus Trump, Hillary versus Trump. Oh, we support Hillary. Almost all of them, Ukraine versus Russia, Israel versus Hamas. They always have a specific stance that they take. Now, you can question some of the different morals and different. I'm not getting an argument about the wars, but it always makes me very, very skeptical when I see a particular vision being supported by these particular people, these propagandists, I would like to call them. It makes me very skeptical when they support a particular view. Now, I'm not saying that every view that they support is inherently wrong, but it should make you skeptical, because these people are being paid oftentimes to view their own goals, or to spout their own opinions, or their goals are only going to be accomplished if they spout this opinion. So I think propaganda, you could categorize that as propaganda. So you have esteem issues, and not to mention that esteem issues, you may say, well, who cares? Is that really that big of a problem? Yes, it is. Because the mental illness, first of all, people get this incorrect perception of who they are, who other people are. Oh, I'm a loser because I don't get to hang out. I don't hang out all the time, They get this incorrect view of how life is, and they get depressed. And the numbers prove to themselves. We are probably at this point now, I think, I'm sure if I look up the numbers, it'll say, I know that at least in the last 10 years, we're at the highest suicide rates have been ever, maybe. I don't know of exactly that, so fact check me. I may be wrong, but I know that mental health, everybody talks about it now. And I think that mental health is low for a lot of people. But that's more my opinion. It seems like people's mental health and happiness level has gone down. But the social media is a tool. It is a tool. And you can call people conspiracy theorists who say these type of things like what I'm about to say, but this particular tool is controlled by a particular group of people. And if you notice, a lot of them are major billionaires who buy up these tech companies and they own somewhat a monopoly. Facebook owns Instagram. Okay? So the biggest social media site of the 2000s, owns the biggest social media site of the 2010s. It sounds a little bit like a monopoly to me. I'm going to be honest, okay? And Zuckerberg, who's like the head of this group, has particular ideologies, and I won't get into specifics because I want to keep this as down to earth for people. I don't want them to take in too much. But this tool can be used and control and spout different opinions and push particular views, and there's going to be bias. And so that's, I think, something you need to watch out for if you are still on social media. Fourth biggest thing, and this will be where I cut off, and it might be the worst thing. It is ruining you as a human being. It's ruining me as a human being, okay? YouTube is my kryptonite. I love watching YouTube videos, and it ranges basketball, cabin building, it's just, ideology views, people's opinions, I love all of it. So entertaining. Too entertaining sometimes. I don't blame the internet. I blame myself for not controlling my attention span. I get bored or I'm in a monotonous situation, pull out the phone. You know what I'm saying? You do know what I'm saying because if you're watching it and you're my age, you know exactly what I'm saying. You get bored, bam. That's what happens. Is that bad? Could be. Our attention spans are way down. I've experimented between having a flip phone and a smartphone. Personally, I am so much more happy. So much more. I just feel like life is in me so much more when I have a flip phone. That's my opinion. Maybe try going a month or 2 months with a flip phone. See if you like it. But that's a little bit of a side story. Or side whatever. Sorry, I'm not good with words. And it's late. Okay. The fourth biggest issue, and possibly the first biggest, the worst thing against us, is that we are being sucked into basically a technological prison. It is a prison. A lot of people, they spend 4, 5, 6, 7 hours on their smartphone. And, I know that people might watch this and say, this guy's crazy, But is it really that crazy to think that something that you're spending a fourth of your day, a third of your day, for some people, on is possibly something that you're spending that much time on may not be a great thing for your life, for the end result of your life? I have put so many hours and so much time into looking at this online world, seeing what other people are doing, and watching YouTube and on these social media sites and all the social technological, apps. And can I say that I'm much better for it? Can I say that I've learned that much? I can't, It basically passes time that I could be spending on doing more important things. And I have to say that I don't think this is just me. I'll come out and say it, and I may have 5 other people. But think in your life. Maybe your life is too being affected by this technological prison. And I call it a prison not because... I only call it a prison because of the reason that it is extremely addicting. It is extremely powerful. And if you think I'm, being a crazy person by saying that, think about the fact that you can't go without looking at your phone. You can't go without looking at a video game. You can't go without looking at, and I know I'm talking more about social media, but it goes with all these things. You can't go without looking at your device. And you can say, well, my job's on it. Well, my this and my that is on it. Well, okay, fair enough. But you know, as well as I know, that after the job is done, it's nothing like pulling up the phone and watching videos, looking at social media, doing something on your phone for a few hours. And that's not wrong inherently, but I think it takes a lot of our lives away. And I think overusage of that is a serious problem. And that's why I put it as my fourth issue. All that being said, it's late. This is a big observational video. I make these like a one take thing, you know. This is how I would talk to a person. Sometimes my thoughts can be a little bit all over the place, but I do feel like it's important to say something, you know, and I want to say something. That's the biggest thing, is I know that I'm only going to get like 2-3 views on this video, but I like saying stuff. I like shooting out there into the world, and maybe one person might watch this video and might say, you know what, that's right. And I want you to know that I'm out here struggling, out here fighting against the prison that is our phones. You know, everything in measure and everything in its own. You know, if you can do something and you don't overindulge in it, then it's not. I mean, for most part, it's not bad. You know, if I enjoy a good pizza, half a pizza, you know, and enjoy it, it's not bad to enjoy a tasty pizza. But when I start to overeat and eat myself into being obese, then there's a problem there. I have a problem. And I think one of the hard things is that, you know, it's so addicting with the phone, and there's not a lot of negative side effects that are apparent. But I think that one of the things that we will find later on is that it affects our mental health. It affects, and that, I hate the word mental health because it gets thrown around so much, and you can use it as a weapon against your enemies. You can use it as a way to not take responsibility. But I do think real, true mental health, depression, anxiety, sadness, is a side effect of this device, at least the overusage of it. But, you know, it's the world we live in now, and I can't say that we should just take away phones, because they're a great advancement. But, you know, I would say to definitely measure yourself with how much you use your device, as I'm going to work on as well. I want to come back maybe to this video in a year or so and talk about how I've improved. I guess I'll make a confessional. Typically, I'm watching 3 hours of my phone. That's my phone's watch time. You know, and I can't say much of that is work. Most of it is just YouTube, you know, social media, looking at, like, you know, my business account, my LinkedIn's, you know, even, and that's the thing, is that because I don't have a personal social media, you would think that I wouldn't spend a lot of time on my phones, but I do, you know, and I'm in the same boat here. But it's just business accounts, and even that's addicting though, because you can get caught up in thinking that, oh, I need to post my business YouTube shorts, or I need to post my business LinkedIn's, or all this stuff, and it's like, is it really that important, you know? I don't know. It's just, it's an interesting thought to think about. I figured I'd post a video. Sorry if this is a little bit of a mess, but I figured I'd use my new camera too. Anyways, this is Ben, signing off.